Hello, peace and blessings and love and light. I'm coming to you today to talk to you about something that's very important to me, and that's thyroid health. If you haven't gotten your thyroid checked before, that's okay. It's never too late. If you've been feeling a little off, or even if you haven't, get your thyroid checked. I can't stress to you how important that is. I would have never guessed in a million years that that's something that was an issue for me. I thank God for my aunt, Deborah Sellers. She told me, Lottie, get your thyroid checked. And I listened to her. I was experiencing some sadness, lack of energy, depression, and I was going through what was called, I'm going to switch hands here. I was experiencing something called hypothyroidism. Let's go back. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland under your Adam's apple, and your thyroid is responsible for your metabolism and your heart rate. It pumps through your blood to the rest of your body. I'm switching hands here. I'm all over the place. Initially, it was hypo, and that's HYPO. First, again, it was hypo, and that's where your body's not producing enough of the thyroid hormone. It makes you depressed if it's hypo and not giving you enough of your the thyroid hormone, and you're feeling again sluggish and depressed, and you're feeling like you're gonna go crazy, and you might feel like you're depressed and you're feeling like you have to take antidepressants and stuff like that. Again, I'm not a doctor, but you're your own doctor. You can diagnose yourself. Well, let me go back. You go to a doctor. It takes a simple blood test, and your results come back within a week. It's so important. If you're not producing enough of that hormone, the thyroid hormone, it's again hypo. Remember, paying attention. Your skin is going to be dry, your hair is going to be dry and brittle, you're going to be gaining weight, you're going to be sluggish, your heart's going to be not pumping very fast, and low energy. For you females, your cycle, it's not going to be as much of a flow as you're used to having. All kinds of things. Your skin's going to be pale and not as bright and youthful as you're used to. Get your thyroid checked. Don't wait until it's too late and have to be on all kind of antidepressants and stuff. You're not doomed. You can always get treated. On the other end of the spectrum is hyper, HYPER, thyroidism. That's when your body's producing too much of the thyroid, too much of the hormone, and you're feeling on the other end crazy. And I use that word because it's fun to use it, because we're taking the power away from that word crazy. Because what's crazy, right? I deal with mental health issues, and my bipolar made me feel both hypo and hyper, which we'll get to that in a minute, but let me just tell you what the hyper is. Hyper is the opposite of hypo. Hyperthyroidism is when you're producing too much of the thyroid. Too much of the see, it's all crazy in my head right now. The hyper is when you're producing too much of the hormone, the thyroid hormone. And some of the symptoms are, if you're bleeding too much when you're having your cycle, because it's pumping too much. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling your heart's beating too fast. You're you're agitated. You're um, manicky, as they would label it. Just again, it's a simple blood test. Ask your doctor, because doctors don't routinely check you for your thyroid. Again, you're your own doctor. Listen to your body, it talks to you. Get your thyroid checked. Thank you, Aunt Deborah. We'll talk later about some of my issues on this journey and how it manifested itself into my enlightenment. I'm definitely not at the end of my journey. I'm not completely where I'm going to be. I'm not 100%. If you noticed, I have some twitches and idiosyncrasies, and a lot of these have manifested themselves, some old, some new, but I'm loving myself along the way. And I love you too. Again, we'll talk about some of these a little bit later, but I just wanted to talk to you about how important it is to get your thyroid checked. We love each other. I love you. You love me. I don't know if anyone's going to watch these videos, but before you think that it's just you feeling these, again, I'm using that word crazy, and start pumping these antidepressants that they're pumping into us and pumping through these commercials and stuff with this mouse print that it'll make your foot fall off and your left ear fall off and all these side effects and stuff. Just trust me, get your thyroid checked. This estrogen that gives us our curves that you love and stuff also produce these issues with these hormones that presents a whole other set of problems with with the thyroid. So we got to take the good with the bad, or not necessarily bad, just present a other set of issues. So get yourself checked. Love yourself, love your family enough. I have been dealing with these things, and a lot of it I thought were mental health issues turned out to be my thyroid, and I'm having surgery for it, and we'll talk about that too eventually. I just want to, on a side note, talk about Nick Saban shouldn't have to be in his press conference talking about the student section being half empty. We're not cheering. You guys are not cheering for these boys when they're coming out on the field. Student section being half full, and you guys are getting free tickets to the games. You won't get out of bed and come to the game. You won't cheer for these students or these athletes when they're working so hard on the field. Well, Todd, are you serious? There's no sense of entitlement, guys. Come on, let's cheer for these boys. They work so hard. I don't own the rights to this music. Of course I don't. But let's love ourselves enough to get ourselves checked. Let's love our family enough to find out what's going on with our bodies. Let's listen to our bodies. I love you guys. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch these videos, but I sure am having fun making them. I love you. I love you. I love you. Peace and blessings and love and light.